Hey everybody, welcome back to I Know a Guy. If you're new here, my name's Anthony. I'm a business profit advocate. On this show, we interview entrepreneurs, business owners, professionals, and just people doing cool things. For example, we're meeting Sharif Strange. He's a young entrepreneur. He owns two businesses. He's been in business for a little over 8 years, and he's passionate about educating the youth. How you doing today, Sharif?
I'm doing amazing, Anthony. Thank you for the introduction. I would like to take some time out to, show gratitude and appreciating what you're doing here. I think you really are educating a lot of people and help people out, getting into the entrepreneurial space. So
Yeah,
thank you.
it's my pleasure. You guys are a lot of people out there doing cool things. I think more people need to talk to them. So
Yes, sir.
anything I can do to help that. So to start off, where are you calling in from? Where are you located?
So I'm originally from Maryland, southern side of Maryland, like Capitol Heights, Lanham, closer to Washington, D.C. side. That's where I'm originally from and currently reside.
Okay, awesome. What do you do for fun there? If somebody like me that's never been there, if I was visiting, what do you recommend I do day one?
Well, it all depends on what you're looking for. Anthony, are you the guy who's like, a little more reserved? You kind of want to do something with just a group of friends? Or are you a little bit more outgoing? It all depends on your speed. But personally, for fun, I work. Sad to say, I work. In my off time, I'm trying to network and meet other, pretty amazing people. So that's what I usually like to do. But I mean, for hobby wise, I like to go out and eat. There's a lot of good places to eat here, especially if you go to the Baltimore side. You can go somewhere further south towards, let's say, the National Harbor. There's a lot of good places over there. There's a place called the Wharf that we have over here. Has some really good, kind of high level places to eat. But that's what I usually recommend. I'm a big eater. I'm a food guy, so that's me.
I got you. Awesome. Well, what kind of networking do you do out there? Is it like some in person, like young professional groups, or kind of how does that look?
Yeah, so I'm on a platform right now called Eventbrite. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with it. So I usually go on there, look for other networking events to meet some new amazing people, figure out what other people are doing with themselves. But usually that's just a time for me to network and self-market what I have going on and just a good opportunity to meet some people.
Awesome. What is it that you do?
Yep. So I have a background in sales currently with my two businesses. One is a credit strategic planning business. The other one is e-commerce. So I do everything digital products. So I create digital products and I sell them online. Currently, I have a book released that is live on Amazon called My Book of Affirmations. We have the paperback and hard copy available currently, and we are currently working on the audio version as well.
Awesome. Well, what got you started in entrepreneurship? I know a lot of folks, especially our age, they're younger when they get started, but something kind of pushed them into it. What did that look like for you?
Well, I started like anyone else. I was the kid who was shoveling snow in the driveway, mowing people's grass. That I was that kid, and eventually it just kind of transpired into something more. Growing up, I was into fashion a lot, believe it or not. I know I'm wearing a black shirt, but I did it on purpose. I sold, traded, bargained high level ticket items like designer clothing, shoes, and stuff like that. So that's where I started in negotiation, and that's where my whole sales experience kind of transpired from there.
Awesome. So, you've been in an entrepreneur world for 8 years, so you obviously like something about it. What's your favorite thing about what you're doing?
I hate to give you the cliche answer, Anthony, but freedom. Freedom to me, it puts you in a position to be able to do the thing that you really enjoy doing. A lot of people say money doesn't necessarily buy you happiness, but it buys you the opportunity to find things that do make you happy.
Yeah, that's that is true. You get a different mindset when you're an entrepreneur because, people go into it thinking that they're going to work half days, and the question is, okay, which 12 hours do you want to work, right? So,
Right.
we have freedom, yeah, but we also sacrifice our freedom a little bit because your calendar really dictates your day. I don't know, is that kind of how you structured it, or are you a little bit more free than that?
So I guess it depends where would you like to use your freedom. So would you rather, and this is what I like to also say, I don't knock working a 9 to 5 job at all. A lot of times that's where you have to start to build the capital to do what you want to do, have those startups. But would you rather use that time to contribute to that company or use that time to contribute to yourself and invest in yourself? That's kind of my mindset about it and how I see things.
Yeah, absolutely. From my experience, I couldn't find the perfect job, so I decided I'd make it, and here we are.
There you go.
So,
I like that.
So yeah, no, absolutely. So what are some hard lessons that you learned, 8 years, that's more than most. What are some hard lessons that you faced along the way that you would go back and, tell yourself about or tell a new entrepreneur starting off to keep an eye out for?
As I touched on before, don't just jump ship. If you have to work your 9 to 5, if you have to work your job and able to provide you capital, then do that. Don't feel like, well, this just isn't for me. I'm just going to jump ship and get started with something because it works for some, not for all. So if you feel like you need to have something to start out with, work your 9 to 5 job. That's something for me was a hard pill to swallow, doing the things that you don't like to do, but you have to do in order to put yourself in a better position. So
Yeah, a lot of times it's, kind of just sucking it up until, and you'll get to the point where it's like, okay, I'm done. Now I'm going here full bore, and it's
there you
working. It's
go.
way less stressful too. But
Yes.
absolutely, no, that's great advice. So, you have a couple different businesses, but what is like an avatar of your average client? Who are you looking to meet? If somebody has a certain problem, what does that look like that you should be the one they talk to?
So my target audience is for small businesses like myself. I have, the two startups. What I do is I provide an opportunity to receive funding for your startup. So my specialty is credit. That's what I do. I show you ways to improve your personal credit, which will help your business credit as well, and provide you opportunity and funding to have that capital for startups.
Okay. What about power partners? What's your average power partner look like? Somebody that you might synergize well with, another industry that you can refer back and forth and find collaborations with.
I tend to do well with the renewable energy sector. Renewables right now is the big thing right now. And with that, it does require a lot of credit approvals and things of that nature. So with that being said, I do very well tend to partner with people in that sector, in that industry as well. And I think not only is it an industry that's driving up right now, it's driving the ecosystems and, things of that nature as well.
So starting as an entrepreneur so young, you probably be the person to ask this. What challenges does a young entrepreneur face that others wouldn't?
Challenges that others wanted.
Yeah, so somebody that wouldn't be considered a young entrepreneur, what are some challenges that are unique to young entrepreneurs?
Separating yourself, distancing yourself, putting yourself around the right crowd. Growing up, we're all young-minded in a way where we surround ourselves with people who necessarily isn't the best for us and what we're trying to do. So it takes a little bit of emotional and mental maturity to figure that out and surround yourself with the right group of individuals that'll not only increase your success, but the others around you as well. So that was something very challenging. And I know for a lot of young entrepreneurs like myself, is to surround yourself with the right community.
So a lot of people when they're looking at becoming an entrepreneur, starting their own business, whatever that looks like, a lot of them have that fear, and that's just exacerbated when you're younger. When you're older, it's a different kind of fear where it's like, oh, I'm comfortable with everything that's going on. When you're
Mhm.
younger, it's like, oh, I'm gonna get left behind if I don't do X, Y, Z.
Right.
What do you recommend? How do you recommend people overcome fear when they're starting off as a business owner?
One of my someone who I follow very closely was Jim Rohn, and he's taught me a lot. His mentor was Errol Schoaf, and what Jim Rohn says is to just go out and do it. Believe that you can do it. If you have the right mentality, and that right mentality just looks like positivity, believe in yourself. Nothing in this world can stop you. What I tell a lot of the people who I train in sales is to just go out and do it. Once you start, practice makes perfection. Just go out and start. Just start somewhere. Just start. That's my biggest thing. Nike's just do it. Mine is just start.
Yeah, I like that. And Jim Rohn's come up a couple times today, which is kind of funny,
He's
because
really good.
he's really awesome. I always liked. I'm gonna get it wrong because I got it wrong earlier, but if you want to change. You're not a tree, right?
There you
So
go.
he says it very simply, and he's very clever, and it makes perfect sense. You're not stuck where you are, even if it feels like it. You can make
Mhm.
changes if you want. If you can't find the perfect job, build it, right? Make it.
There you
So,
go.
is there anything that I missed that you wanted to add?
Not really, Anthony. I think you covered a lot of great points here. The main message I wanted to give anyone who's watching this, if you're just starting out in entrepreneurship, just take that first step. That first step will lead to a lot more steps after that, and you'll always find a way to get yourself out of anything that's challenging for you as long as you believe that you can.
That's great advice. And before we started recording, you were talking, you have a book.
Yes, I do. So, I kind of spoke on it a little bit before. The book is called My Book of Affirmations. It is live on Amazon right now and available. Like I said, we have the paperback copy, the hard copy, and we're currently working on the audio version as well. So if anyone is interested, just go to Amazon.com, look up My Book of Affirmations. It's by Lens Lab LLC, and I am the creator with my partner as well. And it's a really great interactive book, over 100 pages, and for someone who's looking to get started with the right mentality, that's something I would highly recommend.
Perfect. If somebody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way they reach you? How do they find you?
Yeah, you can look me up on LinkedIn, Sharif Strange. It's a great way to kind of that is my personal LinkedIn, so you can just message me. If you have any questions, want some more information about what I'm doing or how I can help you, please feel free to reach out to me. Just look up Sharif Strange on LinkedIn.
Perfect. If anybody would like to get a hold of Sharif, absolutely reach out to him. I'm gonna have all of those links and everything in the description so we don't have to hunt for it. If you're a little bit more shy and you prefer an introduction, just ask me. I'm more than happy to make those three-way introductions for you. But other
Sure.
than that, if anybody out there would like to be interviewed as well, feel free to reach out to me. I'll have my link tree and everything in the description below as well. But Sharif, I really appreciate you coming on. It's always inspiring seeing a young entrepreneur doing it, where a lot of people have been dragging their feet and just like you said, getting started. That's the bit. That's
That's
the
it.
hardest
Just
part.
start. Sharif's
So,
motto: just start.
so let's all get
Again,
out there. Let's get started. Let's meet some more people. All right.
yes, sir. Again, thank you, Anthony. I really appreciate you having me on this platform and the opportunity to reach some more people. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.